gym. I just made it it was a commitment of mine. If I had to get up earlier, I would get up earlier. If I had to do it later, it's a commitment. And if you don't schedule it in as part of your job for the day, it's not going to happen. And that's one reason, that's one reason why the mashup workout that I teach twice a week is so amazing, because it doesn't require a gym. It doesn't require equipment. It doesn't require babysitters. It's 30 minutes of you and your iPhone or your iPad or your computer. And you just get down and dirty in your pajamas with your makeup on your face. Who cares? Yeah. Nobody cares.
Your mimosa on a Sunday morning.
On Sunday morning or whenever. I mean, so if you don't get to do it live with me, you can click on it anytime. It's always there.
Yeah. That's part of why I wanted to have you on here is, people, well, it's just a fashion makeup show. Well, here's something I've realized with every single one of my clients. I've noticed a direct correlation, and this is why I reached out to you. People dress and take care of themselves based on the way they feel about themselves inside. I see it nonstop with my clients. They'll come in a certain framework, and over time, women will come in better dressed, more makeup, and men, same thing, both losing weight. And so I've always seen, people will give me, like my older brother looks at the way I dress, and please don't take this offensively. It's not meant, but he goes, Kenny, you've got to be gay because I love to dress, But it's an expression of how I feel about myself. And that's what I think people don't realize is if you look at my life when I was dressed terribly, I was miserable. And I see that throughout everyone's life. The way you dress and or take care of yourself physically or with women makeup and stuff like that, it's a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself inside. Would you agree?
Well, let's go back to being noticed.
Sure.
If you want to be noticed, you dress like this.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't want to be noticed, you put a hat on your head, you wear big clothing, right? Nobody notices you.
Yeah.
And there's also this thing about people not wanting people to be successful.
Yes.
Like I walk out like this and people go, what are you doing today?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm going to Costco like this.
Yeah.
I just like to get dressed. And they like to beat you down and say, well, you can't. Because you didn't get dressed today, I shouldn't get dressed today, because you dress nice. And that's the thing. And I feel bad for men because, and I think that's less and less now, but if a man takes care of himself, clearly they're gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus, hey, I'm taking pride in myself. Yeah. Makes me feel good to look good. I like to have my clothes matching. Thank you, Katarina. I love you too, girl. But most people, they want to fit in, right? And for whatever reason, they want to fit in. They don't want to be noticed. I've been the girl that has always wanted to be noticed, that wants to stand out in the crowd, that, when I walk into a room, people see me and I feel good and I have confidence. But you're right. The people that don't have that confidence, they're the ones wearing the big bag of clothing, not taking care of themselves exactly. So that's part of what I like to do too, is give them all the tools to build them up, to show them so that they're not, because the people that don't know how to do makeup, they're the first ones to go, I didn't wear all that makeup. You look so much better without makeup. And then all of a sudden you teach them how to do it. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, this really does make me look pretty.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to pick on the person who does it well and looks great when you don't know how to do it yourself.
That's something I learned about judgment. In every situation, whenever we're judging somebody, what we're talking about is ourselves and a piece of ourselves we haven't looked at yet. And so when we, you brought it up, it could be fear. When we don't know something, we go into fear and we back away from anything we don't know. So then we judge someone else. Well, again, that's about us and we don't know about it. But we've also, I think you brought up a great point. Because none of us have been taught how to succeed, we don't take a single class on it. The norm is to fit in. And for most people, like I talk about this in my book, what's comfortable for us is to live below our potential. We're accustomed to it. That's what normal is. Success is a problem because now we don't know what that feels like or that experience. So now we have to judge the way you're dressed or you go out, things like that. So wait, I can't walk in that sense of liking myself, so you have to be the problem, so I don't have to address that I don't have the information on how to do it.
Right.
Yeah. How do you – go ahead.
100%. No, I totally 100% agree with that. And I think that, now at this point, I think I was judged when I was younger. Oh, she's too chubby. She can't be in the front row. She shouldn't be on this. She shouldn't be doing that. Now I'm judged in reverse. Like, who's that girl think she is? She thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. I'm like, hey, I didn't wake up looking like this. I spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
And if you want to spend a lot of time on this, I can help you with that too.
Yeah.
Let's see what if I like it. Thank you. They like our discussion.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that was Raven. And you want to talk about someone who can dress. Raven, you two need to get – I don't know if you guys know each other, but –
You know Raven.
Okay, yeah. Well, then, you both are cut from the same cloth. But I completely lost my train of thought where I was going to go with that.
Talking about judging.
Judging, yeah. And God, I had a great question too. Anyway, we'll move on. So when you're looking at helping somebody, where's the first place you start with them?
Every single person is different. So
Okay.
you have to look at what's the biggest thing that's bugging them. And typically the biggest thing that bugs most people is their bodies.
Yeah.
And so first of all, we got to get down to the food, because 80% of it is what you're eating.
Yeah.
And along with that food of what you're eating, the other probably bigger than the food is your hormones. Because if your hormones all of a sudden, because I'm dealing with women in their 40s and their 50s.
Okay.
And so for most of them, if they're premenopausal or menopausal, then all of a sudden their hormones start shutting down, their metabolism starts shutting down,
Yeah.
and they are not burning calories like they used to. So they can't keep eating the way they used to.
Yeah.
So one is getting their hormones on track, getting their levels to a better state. And then number two, looking at, okay, how are you eating? What are you eating? We need to get a new plan of attack. And then from there, then we can say, okay, now let's look at your wardrobe. Okay, now let's look at your makeup.
What are there some simple basic, because food, it's all over the board as far as diets and what's good and what's not good and everything. Is there a certain, I don't know what to say, diet or program that you believe in that you think has the most effect, that's somewhat simplified for people? What would that be for people listening?
The easiest thing in the whole wide world, and I've really been listening to a lot of information and reading a lot on nutrition, because I know that's the biggest thing that people come to me with.
Yeah.
And of course, if there were one size fits all,
Yeah.
we'd all be on, right? We'd all have it. There isn't. And everybody, of course, has a little bit, and these are really bright, smart people. And you take 10 really smart, bright people that are dietitians and put them in a room, and they're all going to have something different to say.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I can say and feel really sure on is calories in, calories out.
Okay.
So 10 times your body weight is your calories to lose weight.
Okay.
Right there. So I always like to do easy math. So if you weigh 120 pounds, you can have 1,200 calories a day.
Okay.
But in that 1,200 calories, eat whatever you want.
Oh, I love you, because I live on chocolate and sugar.
So there you go. Yeah, okay. It does. So this is what I tell people. If you want to eat 1,200 calories and Twinkies, do it, baby. 1,200 calories and Twinkies, yum, yum.
That's my kind of diet.
The Twinkie diet. I might go on it. Just no. I'm not going to. But it puts you in control. So you love your chocolate. So if you want to have 300 calories of chocolate, then have 300 calories of chocolate. Now, I'm doing this based on 1,200 calories.
Sure.
So if you have 300 calories of chocolate, you now have, easy math,
Yeah.
800 calories, 900 calories, not easy math, 900 calories left to eat.
Yeah.
And so then you go, okay, well, I also want a glass of wine. Okay, subtract out another 120. Okay, well, now I'm going to have that cheeseburger. Okay, well, that's, $4.50. Okay, subtract out that. What do you have left for the day? Just like money, you budget your calories.
So I think I just figured out the solution. I need to gain about 200 pounds so I can eat the level of chocolate I want every day.
And that's true. The more you weigh, the more calories you get to eat. The less you weigh,
Yeah. I think
the
I'm
less
fine.
too good to eat, but it puts you completely in control, and it lets you eat the foods that you want to eat. So if you're craving that donut this morning, eat the donut, but then get on track and figure out what you have left in your calories to finish up your day.
Well, you didn't say it, but you subtly brought it up, and I think this is one of the things that gets at people is when they want to lose weight, get in shape, whatever it is, it's that perfection. And what the tip you just gave allows people not to shame themselves.
Right.
And that's one of the ways we keep when I talk about my worst day cycle in my book, shame is a piece of it and how we re-victimize ourselves. And so when we do something out of joy, a donut or whatever it is, but we go, oh, I'm not being perfect. And just that, the feelings and the self-talk that gets created keeps you stuck repeating all that self-hatred, self-loathing.
Right, so enjoy the donut, have the donut, enjoy the donut, eat it really slow, every single bite, love it up, and then go, okay, I'm done with that. Because a lot of people, just like you're saying that shaming thing, a lot of people will go, they'll eat that donut, and they'll go, oh, I ate that donut. Yeah. Well, the day's ruined. Yeah. You know what? I might as well go get a hamburger for lunch.
Bingo.
Well, now that I had a hamburger for lunch, I might as well go get a milkshake. And you feel so bad about yourself, and you're just, and you're in this bad, yucky place, and you're like, well, I just might as well just ruin today. Don't do that. Stop ruining today. Eat your donut, love your donut, and then finish the rest of the day clean, because it's really about balance.
Yeah, and you just, that's exactly, I'd never seen anyone talk about that dynamic of how we spiral into further destroying ourselves. And that's a big piece I opened up in my book of, wait a minute, this is part of that worst day cycle of this is how it works. Then part of why we do it is, you think about it, what you just said is, I'm in control of it now. I'm doing it to myself. If I victimize myself, at least I have power over it, even if it's negative. That's what is, we're re-victimizing ourselves. There's a sense of enjoyment because I'm choosing to do it. And that's what gets people out of whack, is they don't realize that's part of why they're drawn to now the milkshake, the cheeseburger, and everything else.
Well, we're really good at, giving ourselves pity parties. Yeah. And then letting that pity party continue from today. Well, I messed up today, so this weekend I might as well just, this is a big party weekend, and I've got this and this, so I might as well just eat whatever I want until Monday. Monday I'm going to get back on track, 5 pounds extra than you wanted. And then all of a sudden you're depressed. So then you eat because you're depressed, and then you gain this horrible, vicious cycle, instead of just saying, okay, I had one bad thing, no problem, brush it off, moving on. Yeah,
exactly. You know what? I'm going to, real quick here, thank our sponsor for making, this show wouldn't happen without our sponsorships. And I want to thank Jay Jasper of Berkshire Hathaway. And Jay's not like all real estate professionals. They just aren't created equal. We all know that. If we've had, we've all sold a house before, and there's some that just stand out. Jay's a trusted real estate advisor, and he works with Berkshire Hathaway, and he parlays his 34 years of experience with vast market knowledge and a listening ear. He goes through the process of selling or buying a home. It's and that process is full of real and subconscious fears. And Jay knows all about those. With the highest of integrity, Jay asks the important questions. He listens to what your goals are, your dreams and problems. He's not just selling a house. He's trying to solve and craft a plan to guide you to a successful process, whichever side of the dynamic you're on. So lead by following Jay. Jay leads by giving the tools and insight to guide you to your largest financial decision. Trust is number one. If you're looking for somebody that handles a real estate transaction much more differently, much more on a personal level, someone who sits and actually asks you a question and isn't primarily concerned about the number, but is concerned about where your heart is on the transaction and what matters to you, schedule a consultation with Jay. And as he likes to say, Jay, kind of like purple is my color, Jay likes to say orange is cool. So if you think orange is cool, give Jay a call with any of your real estate needs. So why don't you, Julie, once again give everyone your contact info on all the different platforms so they can reach out to you, because you've talked about several ways you can help: diet, fitness, and we're about to dip into at least my fun part, the fashion part. So,
all right, Lifestyle Jules, Jules, not jewelry. Lifestyle Jules.